Hey Internet, as you can see I am Arthur here in the Horseshoe Overlook camp in chapter 2, and as the title suggests, I figured out a way to finish the Elemental Trail treasure hunt as early as chapter 2. Normally you have to wait until the epilogue since you need New Austin access to do this treasure hunt. But if you're familiar with the buggy and or carcass methods of traveling New Austin as Arthur, you can actually get this done and get yourself a crow beak trinket to increase your looted ammo by 10%. The reward is not worth it, I'm going to be honest, and it's really time consuming to do this whole thing. But if you're still on board, I'll be happy to teach you how. So first off, again, if you're unfamiliar with the buggy or carcass methods, it's been covered in other YouTube videos. I might make a video about it someday, but go watch some other videos about that because you kind of have to know how to use those to do this. So I'm going to first go through it with John, each step, just in case you're unfamiliar with the whole treasure hunt itself. First you have to shoot down this hanging guy over here in the southwest corner of New Austin by Gaptooth Ridge. Loot his body and he will have the first part of the treasure map, which directs you to a location. It just has a picture of a chimney, which is a small little hut over there by Lake Don Julio. So here I am doing it with Arthur, using a buggy to block sniper. Oh, that one was a close one. To block sniper fire and do the same thing. And then here I am at the shack, Lake Don Julio. As John, this is the chimney you loot to find the second piece of the map. Easy enough when you're not getting shot at by deadly snipers. As Arthur, you have to get a bit trickier and back your buggy on in here and get in the perfect spot to be able to use it for cover to loot from the chimney. Again, not too difficult, but here's the tricky part. So the third part of the map directs you to Benedict Point. There is a bridge kind of above the whole area, little like slough aqueduct thing that you have to search in that spot to find the third piece of the map. But if you're familiar with this method of blocking sniper fire, you have to have something to be able to block. You can't have this carcass on your shoulder blocking sniper fire while you search, so you have to figure out something else. And what I figured out is that you can actually use the bridge itself. If you crouch down to block the sniper fire, you have to position the camera exactly right to be able to do this. And if you give yourself a second and wait in between shots, you should have enough time to search it, then get killed. But don't fret, because upon respawning you will have the next part of the map in your inventory, and then you can make your way back down to New Austin. The last part is at this church just to the southeast of Armadillo. The final reward of some like horse medicine, 1 gold bar, and your awesome crow beak trinket is underneath that rock. So as Arthur, this is what you would do. You would just use the buggy for cover fire, search underneath the rock, and collect your hard-earned reward. Now if you're interested, I'm going to go into a lot more detail of how to do this in the second part of this video, but you can quit now if you want to. Okay, so here we are with step number 1. Hanging guy. I recommend using Deadeye. It's just quicker because it slows down time, and you can sometimes get shot through the oval when you're trying to shoot things with the buggy. But sometimes that can cause people to get mad and call the cops on you, just like what happened in this video. So I had to be really quick about making my way over to his corpse in order to loot him. This happens sometimes in New Austin, and depending on how you enter New Austin, you can have roving cops around which are trying to mess with you, that kind of behave somewhat like the Pinkertons do. There's a way to stop that I've talked about in other videos. You have to enter the limits, the boundary of New Austin without a wanted level. You have to let it deplete before entering, and then you will get the roving cops. Okay, so yeah, so this was tricky. So you get off, you try to loot the map, but the camera tries to swivel in the middle of that. So you have to be really quick with moving it back to get the top of the buggy over top of you to block the fire while that's happening. And then I barely make it out in time before this cop gets right up on me and decides that he's gonna mess with me. But yeah, luckily it didn't turn into a shootout and I was able to get away. It didn't matter, had the piece of the map already. Next part, over at the church to the east of Don Julio Lake. So this one's not, it took me a few attempts. Photo mode is a great tool. If you're roaming New Austin in the buggy or using the carcass, you can look around at things without having any danger of getting shot. And then once you exit the photo mode tool, it will be right where you were before. So you can scout things out that are a little bit further away in order to kind of plan what your next move is going to be. So yeah, I can get to that chimney if I can get my buggy inside this busted up, burnt down church or house or whatever it is, and into the right position. So yeah, here we go. Okay, so not going to work pulling the buggy in, so you're going to have to back it in. So I'm going to do all this in real time just to show you how kind of slow and easy you have to take this whole thing, because with the buggies, they can get finicky when you hit a tiny rock or a piece of wood or something that pops a corner up, and it'll swivel it just enough so that way the camera can see your head and shoot you. Yeah, see, so like right there, if I would have caught that just wrong, it might have messed my whole thing up. So you just back it in, but the other part you have to consider is that you want to leave plenty of room for you to get out on the left side. If you don't, if I were to try to get out right now, he would get out on the right side because there's not enough room to get out on the left side, which would cause me to get shot 100%. Because I'd be expecting him to get out on this side. So you make sure you leave yourself enough room on the left side. Exiting the buggy is always tricky. Just wait for a shot and then go for it and cross your fingers. Get to where it shows that you can search the chimney by slowly moving around. I like to use Eagle Eye a lot because it slows down time and gives you a little more chance to react with the camera. Let's see here. There we go. Okay, so now it's giving me the option to search. So again, anytime you do one of these interactions, the camera will move a little funny. So you just have to be ready to swivel it back to where you want it in order to keep your cover intact. Okay, second part. Still not a huge deal. Similar to maybe getting dinosaur bones or other stuff, catching, gathering herbs or whatever in New Austin. This part is the tricky one. So you're going to need your buggy. You're also going to need to bring a horse with you because you need to have a carcass. I got a horse and another wild horse that I caught. I got 2 buck carcasses and put one on each of them and had them follow me all the way down to Benedict Point, which was a bit of a trek. Yeah. So there's a cool trick. If you don't know, you can set up camp when you are in New Austin, and when you reload your save, you will still be in New Austin. The sniper fire will begin, but you can actually run and make it to your horse and get cover behind your carcass in the back of your horse before you get shot. So it's actually a totally viable way to explore New Austin with a carcass on your shoulder. Why did I just redo that? I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, so you take your carcass, you go all the way up to this bridge. Obviously, you're going to need this for cover. Careful with this spot. It can get, you can slide right there when you're trying to get onto this little platform. And it will make you drop your carcass and get shot. So, okay. Go down to where it says you can search. And then I tried a whole bunch of stuff. The main idea is, you know, you maybe want to drop your carcass and then try to search really quickly. So this is that. Search really quickly. Yeah, you didn't even almost start to search, so that's definitely not going to work. I also tried using the bridge itself for cover, which wound up being the thing that worked, but I didn't realize that you had to be crouched down to do it, because when you're standing up, your head is just a little too far away, and so as soon as you drop your carcass, the bridge stops working for cover and gets you. Died a whole bunch of times that way too. So this is the one that finally worked. Again, another quick tip for getting your way to your horse is if you actually use tear down camp right here, as soon as you reload your save, it resets the warning shots from the sniper and gives you a couple extra seconds to get to your horse. I didn't know that when I did this video, but I'm telling you that now, that that's the way to go. You don't want to just run to your horse. It works most of the time if you're good at it, but doing the tear down camp method is way better. Okay, so made our way up onto the platform, out onto the bridge. That's the easy part. The hard part is getting the camera in the right spot. You want to move it so that you can get the camera as low as possible while the carcass is still catching the bullets. So you don't want to go, I think its hitbox is like somewhere around, it's not exactly on the edges of it, but it's somewhere around its face, so you don't really want to go much lower than its head. But here you can see the bridge is actually blocking the shots successfully. Okay, starting to feel good about this position. So we're going to drop the carcass, wait for a shot, drop the carcass, crouch really quickly, freak out, push the button again by accident, stand back up, and then crouch again, panic crouch. Obviously was not intentional. But yeah, the bridge is still blocking our shots as we crouch. So you put away your guns, give yourself a little more time. Bridge is still blocking it. Pop into Eagle Eye, wait for a shot, and search. And that will actually give you enough time, if you're lucky and don't get an immediate sniper shot, to loot it before you get shot again. Yes, you die. Yes, that whole trip was time consuming, but once you actually respawn, you can see in the corner it says Treasure Hunter. Press the button for details. Yeah, it's the stuff, the next part of the map is in your inventory when you respawn back at camp. Which is cool, and that's where the church is, down by Armadillo. Make your way down here using the buggy, obviously. You get into this little courtyard next to the church, and as you saw earlier in the video, the rock you're looking for is not on that grave, but this one right here. Get ready, wait for a shot, pucker up, try to exit the buggy without getting killed, and then be careful when you search the rock to swivel the camera to make sure you don't get killed again. And if you're lucky, that's it. You get your treasure hunt done, and you're now the proud owner of a brand new Kobe trinket and 1 gold bar and some freaking medicine for your horse. Awesome. So yeah, probably not worth it, but if you're a total completionist and want to do as much as possible in Chapter 2, maybe this method is for you. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Good luck out there.